everybody, how are you today? We are going to make a brownie Ala Mode. So what I did is I took a mold and made the brownie. Now you can make this mold, or this brownie I should say, on your own. It wouldn't be hard because I have done them before, but this particular one I did use a mold. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and use the burnt umber, because remember, burnt umber is your best color when you're dealing with chocolate, whether it be chocolate candy, chocolate cake, chocolate pie, whatever. I like the burnt umber the best. Now you might like more of a light chocolate, and they have many different colors. They have milk chocolate, mocha chocolate, all kinds. But I prefer the burnt umber.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, Daveda. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, Daveda.
How I painted the brownie with the burnt umber, okay, and this is just clay. And a lot of times I'll scoop my own ice cream, but I do have a mold because I'm going to be making wax faux food as well. But I went ahead and used it. I wanted to see how the clay would work, and it worked well. So it just depends on what you want to do, either with the mold, scoop it by yourself, or pipe some ice cream. Totally up to you. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of, and I keep all my containers, all of them, for my spackle. As long as they have a tight lid. This has been in here for months and it's still perfect. And let's get out my trusty knife that I use for my spackle. Look at that. Still very nice. And I'm gonna just stir this a little bit, add a little tiny bit of water. I mean, it could still be piped perfectly, but I'm gonna add just a teeny bit of water, okay? I mean, it was just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it into my piping bag. And I'm using, again, my favorite 1M. It's an open star. This is my favorite one. I'm going to pipe it into my 16-inch bag. I use these bags for everything, whether it's a small tip or a large tip, doesn't matter. And I always put it over my hand. I can handle it much better. Some people use a cup and that's perfectly fine. I have done that before, but for me, I find doing it this way, I'm able to do it better. It's just your own preference. Also, I'm going to cut the tip. Not going to cut much because you don't know until you put your tip in there. Yeah, it has to be cut a little bit more. should do it. Yep. Well, maybe a little smidge. I'm going to do a tiny bit more. I'd rather keep cutting than cut too much. There. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and stir this and smooth that out a little bit. Put my spackle into the piping bag and I'll be back. Okay, so what I want to do now is I don't want to leave this white. I want to make this a vanilla ice cream scoop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix my light buttermilk, and this is Deco Art Americana, and I'm going to come in, shake this up, and we're going to paint this ice cream scoop. I'll be right back. So I have my styrofoam, and I always keep this block of styrofoam, and this just came out of packaging from an Amazon box. I use the skewers from Dollar Tree. All you have to do, because this is clay, stick that in there, get your paintbrush. Okay. So I have 2 pieces of parchment, and I get those squares from Dollar Tree, and then I just cut them in fourths. Don't need a huge one. Then I can put my paint right on this and then throw it away. That's going to be too much, but okay. So now you're just going to paint, and you're not going to be able to tell much of a difference, but it just gives it that more of a vanilla color. And you can paint these whatever you want. I'm going to be doing a mint and chip chocolate, mint and chip chocolate, whatever. Anyway, mint and chip is not my favorite. Tell me what your favorite is in the comments below so I know. See, again, I don't know how much you can tell. I'm not going to worry about the bottom because that's going to be down on the brownie. If I wasn't, I might do the bottom. Okay, and I'm just going to stick it in the styrofoam. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of this back. No sense in wasting it, right? This is a perfect color for vanilla. I'm also doing a banana cream pie. I'll use this color for that as well. And I always keep, like I told you before, I always keep my cups that I used to use for drinking. I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I use it for my water. And then when it gets too grossed out, I just wait and I'll get another one. They make perfect cans, or cups I should say, for your, to clean your brushes. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some glossy Mod Podge onto my brownie. I say this every time, I can't help it. I love the smell of Mod Podge. Oh, it always reminds me of not Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, because we live close to Knott's Berry Farm as well, because Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm in California aren't far from one another. And it always reminds me, and that is way too much. Holy moly, Daveda. There, that's fine. And this all dries clear, so don't worry. Brownie Ala Mode is what this is going to be. Okay, we're going to let that dry. We're going to let our ice cream scoop dry. And then I'll be back. We're going to put this together. Reason being, the Mod Podge is a little bit wet, which means this will adhere to it and stay. Okay, so it's dry. Our ice cream scoop. We're going to put it right on top of our brownie. I have some fake cherries from Hobby Lobby. To me, these are very realistic. And I don't know if I want that one. We'll see. But first, we have to put on our whipped cream. So, I got that into my bag. Okay. And then I have to see which which cherry. To me, this cherry is too big. Okay, and there is our Brownie Ala Mode. I didn't want to put too much whipped cream because I want to be able to see the ice cream scoop, right? Now, I could have put another scoop, but then you're going to be hiding more of the brownie. So, this is what we're going to have. I'm going to let this dry on the parchment, then we'll plate it.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, Daveda. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil.